All right, guys, we are back for another one, 3.7. What's this one? The buyer contract to closing, similar to the listing contract to closing plan. We're going to go through it and show you what we do on the buyer side. If not, it's not your listing and you representing the buyer and you're co-broking with another agency, same thing. Just keep the whole goal of everything that I'm showing you in this strategic module is the strategies we use, how to implement them, and to do them, take action on them, because it makes you look organized, makes you look professional, and it helps everybody with communication and seamless transaction to closing, which gets you paid quicker. That's a good one, right? That's what everybody's looking for. Okay, and not only that, not just that, it makes you look really good to your clients, lets them know you know what you're doing, and 3, you care about them. You care about educating them through the process to make them have the best experience that they deserve, really. So here's how we set it up. Same thing as the listing. It's the same way in LionDesk that you've just seen on the other end, but we just call it a different name, new task, and add the email to the buyer there. But the first thing we do is an intro call. This one's signed to the admin as how we have it structured because, at this point we have an admin. But now, if you don't have an admin, you do that intro call to buyer. Now, as you grow, you'll be able to afford an admin. So, necessarily might not even need to be a physical admin. I like that. It's just because that's just how I would like to run the team. I know a lot of successful teams that just have a virtual assistant doing all this automated stuff for them. So that might be something to look into. Upwork, UPwork, or WORK.com. You can literally hire a virtual assistant. So really cool stuff. First action, intro call to buyer. 0 days from start, you do that. The admin. Review the agreement, add appointment dates. To do, send the email 1, co-op agent email, introducing you to the other agent. Next step, buyer's email, lets the buyer know what to expect next. Basically the same thing in the sellers that I just showed you, but for the buyer side of it. Again, we do it every day, so we think it's boring, but it's educating to someone going through it. Mortgage broker or mortgage person, email goes out to them. Move all important dates. Check .loop or DocuSign and make sure all needed docs are in the loop, or submit it. This one says submit to MCA manager. In this case, we didn't put that in there, or .loop because we use DocuSign. But I did this because not everybody uses DocuSign. .loop actually is probably a little bit more effective for our model, but we found a way to make DocuSign work for us, and that's why we kept it. Mortgage commitment. Inspection contingency, and this is literally how you would set it up. Type of action, time frame, assign to, notes, and then stats, any notes that you have there. Inspection contingency due 5 days after the important. Add co-op seller agent to the CRM, part of the closing parties. Add a tag to the year buyer, 2018 buyer. Also make sure the source of business is noted in the CRM, where they come from, Facebook. Make sure you're tracking that. Track everything. Email lender and buyer to confirm that buyer made the application. This is just holding them accountable through the process, because you and I both know that the lenders and the attorneys sometimes drop the ball because they get too busy. You need to hold them accountable and let them know that, hey, I'm here and I'm going to help you with your organization to closing. Utility info, 7 days prior to closing. Change the utilities. This is what to expect. This is who to call. Let's see. Utility schedule settlement with all parties. Request pre-CD title, so we know what to go over with the buyer. The closing disclosure. Follow up with the listing agent to get the receipts for the work completed during the reply to inspections. The buyers are gonna want that. Closing complete. After settlement, collect and submit commission check to your manager, and then set up home anniversary and database. That's important. You want to connect with these people, whether it's a postcard, an email, or call is best. Remember, good, better, best. Good, email. Better, a postcard. Best, call, personal call from you. Let them know that you haven't forgotten about them. Create CD letter for mailing. You need to make sure that the CDs are ready for the December 15th mass mailing. You send all the closing disclosures out to everybody who closed on a house for you, and make sure they're using that in their tax preparations. Claim sale on Zillow, Trulia. Place buyer on the 10-year post-close buyer action plan, which you reviewed in the other module. Scan and save all closing documents. That's our buyer contract to closing plan, and I cannot tell you how organized this makes you and how it makes you just look organized. Now let's go through it really quick. Stephanie's here. I got a meeting with her, but we're going to finish this up here. So here's the intro script, what it looks like. Good morning, buyer name. Congrats on going under contract. I will be assisting agent's name. In this case, this is from your admin, but you can make this for you. The whole point of this is not to set it up to look like a team if you don't want it to. You can use these just singly. I'll be calling you every week on Monday to check in, inspection. It's basically the same thing as the listing side. All you're doing is just keeping in touch with people. We'll keep that open. Next. Oops. We're excited to work with you. This is the email. That's the subject line. We're excited that we are able to successfully negotiate a contract on. This is an email to quickly introduce our team since we'll be working with you closely over the next month on the conveyance of this file. Below is some information you may find helpful. Team contact information. Team leader, buyer's agent, executive assistant. Team emails. Please do not hesitate to contact us if you need to change anything. Please let me know if anything else needs to change. Boom, right here. Title company and for information, lender information. This is something you're going to put in there, right? We'll be in touch shortly after we get the inspection scheduled. So should we schedule those or work directly via showing manager? Again, we look forward to working with you. So again, this is all to keep everybody on the same timeline, whether you're representing the buyer or the seller. That's a whole point of contract to close. Next. Congrats on going under contract. As we've discussed over the telephone, there will be a high volume of communication the next few days. So much scheduled, so bear with me. Each new email will be from a different portion of this transaction, so you can keep them separate. The reply to inspections will be due on this date. This is important to set this up now, especially when you have it in writing, because if someone says, well, you never told me that, no, it's in the email. You can pull it back up and prove yourself. This means that we will need to have all the completed inspections submitted and formal reply to inspections at that date to the seller's agent, home, radon, termite, septic, well, whatever you pick. And you can edit this if they don't get all these. These are the days that were available here. Title insurance. Title insurance rates are regulated by dollar amounts. If it is okay with you, we would like to use. They're a great company, and it is important for us. Please confirm in writing that you are okay with this, right? First deposit check. This is your escrow deposit or earnest money escrow. Please write out a check for 2. Next, you'll need to email or mail or deliver it to our address, seller's company name. You have X amount of days to make application with a lender. Please make sure that you get that completed with a lender name immediately. Insert mortgage lender name, all this. Here's a copy of the timeline that we'll send out in Folio. Infolio is just, again, the Gmail assistant that I showed you about. Recommend getting that, especially if you don't have an assistant. Folio becomes your virtual assistant. It doesn't do everything, but it does a lot of it. Here's a copy of the timeline. How organized does that make you look, guys? That's great. Okay. Mortgage broker. We're excited to work with you on address. Dear, attached, you'll find a copy of the agreement of sale. I'll be your point of contact from here on out. Please send all necessary paperwork to me. Company name, location, contact. This goes to the lender. Just let them know, hey, I'm here to work with you. Time to order homeowners insurance. This is a big thing. In preparing settlement, you will need to bring a copy of your homeowner's insurance policy with an effective settlement date. Lastly, if you need assistance securing a reputable insurance agent, we highly recommend to our clients. Please have your insurance company email us a copy of the declaration. Lastly, you'll need to bring to settlement proof of homeowner's insurance policy and photo ID. That's important. That's a question that comes up. Would you please contact your client to obtain the utilities company information? This goes to the seller. Call buyers and ask what time is best for them of the day that the closing has already been agreed on. Call title company, call seller's agent. This is the things that you do. This is the email that gets generated. Are buyers paying for the inspections on the CD? Are buyers paying for anything else that needs to be on the CD? Commission for buyer's side? These are all questions that you need to send to the title clerk or whoever is doing the title on this. Next is hello and happy holidays. You send this. This is where closing disclosure, even on the buying side, because again, tax benefits. Closing complete. Thank you for choosing the Shine team to purchase your home. We have enjoyed working with you, and we hope it felt that it was a smooth transaction. Our business is built on referrals, so if you believe we did a good job, obviously, and then you ask for the referral. But you know how big I am on asking for referrals when something big and or something positive happens or good. So get your Zillow link saved, put it in your notepad, and be ready to send that out via text. Buyer CD checklist, it's the same thing. You just make sure everything's good to go. Important dates, it just tells you what to put there. And that's basically it for our manuals there. So that is our buyer contract to close plan. And as you can see, it's right here. It's the same thing. So buyer's contract to close plan tasks. And we just, basically set it up. Again, that's the way they set it up, our consulting company. We edited it to make it look basically what we do with it, which is definitely different. But, the same concept is there. It's just basically getting organized. You got to do this if you want to produce the amount of transactions and, be organized, efficient, and compliant while doing it too. That's important, like a big compliance thing. A lot of this can be automated, and hopefully this helps you out with our buyer contract to closing plan.